everyone, welcome to the Able Gardener, and today is a bad air day for California, especially the Central Valley. Now, we normally have a lot of pollen in California because of all the vegetables and all the crops that we grow, but one thing bad about that is being in a valley, all the pollen just kind of sits in the valley as if it was a toilet bowl. I mean, everything sinks down into the valley and we just have to breathe it all. The thing is, the state will tell you what the air quality is like and whether you should stay inside or not if you're immunocompromised or the young or the elderly. The thing is, you can feel it just as much inside as you can out. It's just a little more outside because those particles are so small, they get into your house just like dust does. Now, we live on a really busy street, so I know about how much dust can come into your house. But if you're a gardener, you have to get outside to water your plants and to do a harvest, and today is my harvest day. You can see what happens when you don't get out to do a harvest. Your zucchini get just a little bit too big. So what I'll do is I'll wear my little surgical mask for today, just because the air quality is so bad and I'm starting to lose my voice due to just allergies that I have. Well, boy, you guys, it's really getting hot underneath that surgical mask. And besides that, it is hot out here today. I believe it's right at the low 90s today. Or as they say, it's 88 degrees, but it feels like it's 98 degrees. That's what it feels like today, especially with that mask on. But I do believe that I mentioned in a previous episode that I thought I had planted bush green beans, and what they ended up to be was pole beans. Now, pole beans are fine. I love both bush beans and pole beans, but the pole beans are a later harvest than the bush beans are. So I was able to get, probably about 10 green beans yesterday from the bush beans that are inside here. But there's only, I think, 3 or 4 plants. So it's going to be a really scant harvest until the pole beans are ready to be harvested. So just a few more things to harvest, and then I'm going to go inside where it's cool and where I can get out of this pollen and smoke. Well, the kids have been asking me about tomatoes, but you know, I've got, I don't know, probably about 5, 10, 15, maybe about 20 tomatoes sitting on this beefsteak. But I don't know how you can get a tomato to get red any faster than just sitting on the vine. So as far as right now, I'm just waiting for the tomatoes to turn red. This year I did plant a lot of butternut squash, and I have a very simple way of eating butternut squash. What I do, take it off the vine, cut it into long ways, then scoop out the seeds, put in some butter and some brown sugar, put them in the oven, and just cook them until you can smell that brown sugar and butter cooking, and then take them out and eat them like a baked potato. And they are so good. So if you've never had butternut squash before, it's definitely worth planting. variety of winter squash that I like. I just don't know the names of all of them. So every year when I harvest them, I keep the seeds and I just write on the bag winter squash. I don't know the name of each. Now, because the squash family cross-pollinate, I'm sure I've come up with a few varieties that no one has heard of or even seen before. And this may be one of them, but that's going to be a good winter squash when it's ready to be harvested. Well, I did plant a few gourds, and this isn't labeled, but this definitely looks like one of my gourds. And what I'll do with this when it gets bigger and I harvest it, I think what I'll do is probably cut a little hole down here on the large part on the bottom and make it into a birdhouse or a bird feeder. That would be fun too. I really love gourds and the different ways that they can grow and the way they look when they're ready to be harvested or when they're done growing. Hey you guys, I am wasted. I am so tired and it's been so hot out here today and I haven't even been out here that long. But I wanted to thank you guys for joining me today on my harvest day, or one of my harvest days. I do this just about every 2 to 3 days, and with the zucchinis and other squash like that, then you know you need to get out at least every 2 days or you're going to end up with, you know, something like this guy or this one. So I was able to get quite a few veggies today, and I was surprised that, well, especially my nectarines, I was surprised that they were ripe and ready to be picked. But I got a little yogurt container just full of little baby carrots, and actually they're not babies, these are full-grown carrots. Now I think I mentioned in a previous episode, I thought that they were Denver carrots, but they weren't. I did find my packet, and what they are is Paris Market carrots. So that's the normal size of a Paris Market carrot. So I guess what I did was I planted them for the grandkids, thinking that they would like, you know, little tiny carrots. But I was able to harvest a little eggplant, and I don't like eggplant at all, but my husband does. So I'll peel this up, get it sliced up, put it in a little bit of egg batter and some breadcrumbs, and then fry it up, and he is going to love that tonight. So what else did I get? Got zucchini, like I said. You know, that's a good size zucchini for me, a good size for cooking that I like. I got some yellow scallop squash and some white scallop. And what surprised me was I was able to find a few cucumbers. So those are going to make a nice fresh summer salad. So what I'll do is I'll just peel this, cut it up into slices, and put it in some rice vinegar, a little bit of salt and pepper, and then that's good to go. And the other thing I'll probably add is a few of the cherry tomatoes that I was able to pick, along with the cucumber, so that'll make a nice salad. Oh, I did have snap peas, but I ate them all. And the strawberries that I picked, I ate all of those. And what else did I get? Oh, I had wanted green beans, but like I had said previously, the green beans that I harvested the other day were off of bush beans. They weren't off the pole beans. So I'm going to have to wait for those pole beans to produce. And they're flowering right now, so it won't be too long and I'll have some green beans. But I'm going to go out and I'm going to pick the rest of the nectarines off the tree, and I am going to make a nectarine cobbler. And that just sounds so good, doesn't it? I don't know, there's just something about a cobbler. It makes you think of picnics. But I really love peach cobbler, apricot cobbler, but I've never had a nectarine cobbler. So that's on the agenda for tonight, along with a fresh little salad and then that eggplant, and you know, maybe we'll eat a few squash and that'll be dinner. So, you know, it was a good harvest for me today. Even though some things weren't ready to be picked, there was certainly enough that it's going to feed us for tonight and tomorrow night. Oh, the other thing that I forgot to discuss or to show you guys is my seed zucchini. Now, probably about a month back, maybe not even a month ago, I pollinated this little zucchini plant and then closed up the flower with a zip tie. And the zucchini kept growing. And anyway, the flower fell off. I let it continue to grow, and I decided to harvest it today because I had read somewhere on the internet that if you have a squash on your plant and you let it continue to grow, say, you know, to this size, that it will slow down in production of the rest of its squash, that it will stop putting on new squash. And I did notice that the plant hadn't been producing any squash or any more. I think I got maybe 1 or 2 off of it. So I thought, well, maybe the plant was just getting old. And then I read that about squash, and so I harvested this, and I'm going to see if it's true. So if the plant starts producing squash again, then, you know, what I read was true. So we'll just see if that happens. Anyway, I am going to take my basket and my bucket of carrots and go inside and start preparing dinner. Anyway, you guys, I will talk to you later. Hope you have a good day and a good harvest, and I'll see you guys later. Bye-bye. I wanted to show you my sunflowers, so I'm going to shoot you a view at the end here of my sunflowers that are going on about 12 feet high, and one of the flowers is about 12 or 13 inches in ground. So I'll show you that before we go. Bye-bye, you guys. Now the bees just love to be all over these sunflowers. I don't see any on it right now, but yesterday it was covered with bees. I see some bees on that one, and it hasn't even bloomed yet. And then this guy isn't a very big flower, but it's really super tall. It's got to be at least 12 feet tall. Let me see if I can take the tripod up to the top. I got it! So that's the top of the sunflower. That's me. I'm 5'8", lifting the tripod up from its bottom and all the way up to the top. So you guys figure out how tall that sunflower is. Talk to you later, guys. Bye-bye.